I want to take us to the end of the book. So, if you haven't gotten there yet, spoiler alert in a big way. So let's make sure that we don't ruin it for you, okay? At the end, Square is understandably destitute of converts. He has been in jail for 7 years, and the phrase, upward, not northward, haunts him like a soul-devouring sphinx. It's that last phrase I want to talk about today. That Square is a bit angsty right now is pretty clear. He describes the feeling as martyrdom, and we know that means someone who has sacrificed themselves for a cause. Sidebar. The definition of a martyr, someone who is sacrificed to a cause, and as a result, the cause grows. Think of Jesus, Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, etc. Definition of a pariah, someone who's sacrificed to a cause, and no one notices. Think of Seymour Warren, Joanne Chesterton, and another name of someone you've never heard of. So, Square is confident that his cause will be recognized, at least by us, the readers, who he talks to directly several times. But this is not an easy experience. It is soul-devouring, a phrase which, combined with the martyrdom, again rings of a religious or spiritual sacrifice. If I wanted to press the point, I might argue that he has been forsaken, abandoned by any who might rescue him with the truth, including the sphere. And he himself has begun to forget, even doubt, his own revelation. So, why a sphinx? If you've listened to the podcast on Shakespeare Illusions, you know that any time a writer references mythology or religion or literature or other cultural symbols, it's important that we explore the reference to understand its import. What about this guy? Is this the Sphinx he means? Maybe. Head of a man, body of a lion, a sentinel in the desert. What do we know about it? Well, we know the head is likely an Egyptian pharaoh of eons ago. The lion is almost certainly a representation of the sun god as a lion who consumes all who oppose him. But I don't see a lot of connections there between that idea and the novel. Are there other representations of the Sphinx which Abbott could be thinking of? We find a Sphinx in Greek mythology too. This guy. One sent by the gods to punish the people of Thebes. This Sphinx has the head of a woman, body of a lion, but also eagle feathers and a serpent's tail. Clearly a later version of the Egyptian Sphinx. Many of the Greek stories place her origins in Ethiopia or Egypt. She was modified for the legends. The most famous legend she appears in is Oedipus Rex. Now, you may or may not be familiar with the story, and we'll likely talk about it at length sometime later in the year. In the story, though, she threatens the city of Thebes and poses riddles. When the person she confronts cannot answer the riddle, she eats him. Soul-devouring. Riddles. Now, this sounds much more likely as the illusion that Abbott is thinking of. The question of upward, not northward, haunts Square like a sphinx, a god-fated pagan fantasy monster, a creature composed of many other creatures, an impossibility, an unnatural abomination. How dangerous wisdom is. How vulnerable is reason. You and I, the readers of Spaceland, know full well the simple truth of this phrase, upward, not northward. We experience upwards and northwards every single day. But for Square, understanding this truth without the dull daily routine is frightfully difficult. We are capable of reasoning ourselves to it, but this reason seems short of understanding. There are truths out there that we can reach or almost reach, realities without which we are dreadfully dull and ignorant, not for us the life of a rectangle or a hex, but the struggle to them, the struggle to find them, to hold them for a moment, and then be denied them? That's monstrous. Now, do not respond here by shrugging it all off with a cliche. Well, ignorance is bliss. This is not Abbott's argument, nor therefore should it be ours. There is more. Nothing about the lives of the ignorant Flatlanders that is very happy. They are unwittingly manipulated and oppressed by clever politicians. And reality has a way of ignoring our ignorance, devouring us when we are unaware. No, the choice there is ignorance, in which case we are victimized and are unhappy but do not understand why. Or we may reason carefully, vulnerably, to discover a truth which might then haunt us when we are unable to convey it to others, or even to ourselves. This is not simply sad. It is a spiritual despair.